Knightlife is back and Rutgers is back in the win column. Hi everybody, I'm Bruce Beck along with the coach of the Scarlet Knights, Greg Schiano. Greg, you went up against this Minnesota team that was on a 4-game winning streak and you had a thorough team effort in the victory. What resonates with you about that win?
Yeah, I just think the resiliency of our team, right? We had a tough stretch. They had won 4 straight. We had lost 4 straight. And, with several season-ending injuries. So that can really put you in a bad mood, right? But more importantly, the message, I'm not worried about our guys when they're in this building, but it's when they get out there into the real world, when they get on that social media. And I was proud of them that they did, they did what we do around here. They chopped and they just kept going and believing in each other, and they played for each other. And you could see that. There were some uncommon efforts out there that led to that victory.
Resiliency is a good word for Tyreen Powell, who has battled injuries for the last couple of years, and he makes the big play, forces the fumble, leads to the go-ahead touchdown. What about his overall effort and his doggedness?
Yeah, it couldn't happen to a better guy. Like I said, I've said it many times, he's about 4 or 5 games from being a top 50 pick. He's that good a player. He gets hurt at Indiana, then he has another injury when he's rehabbing. He had never gotten hurt. He was a healthy kid, and all of a sudden these things. But you talk about resiliency, you talk about a guy who just kept chopping. And it's a great lesson, right? You keep doing it, and you do it in the right way, and eventually it's going to pay off.
It's a message to all your guys about heart and what it takes.
There's no doubt, and that's what we call chop.
Daryl Jabome, 14 tackles, 3 for loss. He leads you on the year with 82. Do you like his ferocity?
I'll tell you what, he's a really gifted, big athlete that is learning the game more and more every year. He's a Canadian guy from Montreal and came here very gifted and has really, really begun to understand all the little details about playing linebacker because, other than quarterback, linebacker is the most complicated spot on the field.
Kyle Monangai was out, but you had 2 guys step up nicely at the running back spot. Antoine Raymond, 22 carries, 73 yards in his first career start. Jashawn Benjamin, 11 for 66 in his season debut. So what does that say about the number 3 and 4 guys on the depth chart going into the year stepping up in a big way?
Yeah, well, like you said, Kyle couldn't play, but a few weeks earlier we had lost Sam Brown, who was kind of the co-1. So now you're on 3 and 4, but they don't see themselves as 3 and 4, neither do I. I think these guys are really fine running backs, and they got their opportunity. We had seen Jashawn Benjamin, we call him Benji. Benji had played last year, had done a great job. We were trying to get his redshirt year back this year, so we're going to be able to do that with the rule the way it is, because he'll only play in 4 regular season games. So those 2 are ready to go, and then we'll see what happens with Kyle. If he's okay to go, we'll work him back into the lineup. If he's not, then I think we know who the 2 guys are going to carry the ball.
Kyle's had a monster year with 946 yards and 10 touchdowns. Did he still contribute in a positive way in the room and working with these guys, setting an example?
Yeah, he sure did. And if anybody knows Kyle, they know he would, right? He is a consummate teammate, bright, tough, all the things you look for. And hopefully we can get him back. I don't know what's going to happen. We leave that up to the doctors and to Kyle himself. But again, I often tell people when you have a situation like we have here with injuries, don't tell me who we don't have. I know that. I'm the one who reads the injury report every day.
Who can get on the field?
Tell me who we do have and how are we going to get them ready. That's our job. And that's how I approach it.
Ethan Kaliakmanis, 3 touchdown passes in the game, 12 for the season. Do you think he's getting better and better each game? And remember, this one was against his former school, so there might have been a little extra incentive.
Well, he definitely is getting better. I think the entire offense is just kind of gradually getting better and better. It's an accumulation of repetitions at what we do. Unfortunately, we've had some guys that we've lost for the season, some guys we've lost for the week or 2 or 3. So that kind of can pull the growth back a little bit. But through all of that, our guys are continually focused on getting better, and I think Ethan leads that charge as the quarterback.
Is his leadership, does it come to the fore with his steadiness?
Yeah, I think it does. I think just, he's a mature guy and he works incredibly hard, and his teammates admire that and look up to him.
Dymere Miller was dynamite once again. And for the season, he continues to have 42 grabs. That leads you in that department. What about this guy and the way he's breaking out, even though he's coming up from the FCS level?
Well, we knew when we evaluated Daimir at Monmouth University that we really believed he would be a very, very good Big Ten receiver. And I'm glad we were right. He works really hard. He's blended right into our culture. He's really a great teammate to have, and works extremely hard to perfect his craft. And when you do that, you're never going to be perfect, but how close can you get?
Ian Strong, KJ Duff, your two-headed St. Anthony monster coming to the fore. They stretch the field, don't they? And that gives you an interesting component.
Well, you got to look at them both, right? They're big, big men. So as a corner, when you're running and you have your back to the ball, and you got this big guy who can go up and get it and can box you out and all those things, you know, deep balls don't always mean you run past somebody. Sometimes it means that. Sometimes it means you can out-jump them and out-body them for the ball. And I thought we saw that some.
So it's Maryland this week in College Park. They were stubborn last week against Oregon. They're a talented team. They've got athleticism. What about the challenge this week, Coach?
Huge, huge challenge. First, Coach Loxley, excellent job. He and his staff, they always will have a well-coached team, very talented team. He recruits very well. They have some really good players. You know, Billy Edwards, the quarterback, has had a great year. Their receiving core literally is an NFL receiving room. Felton is as good as there is in the country, but there's more to it than just he. And you know, the running back Hemby's been there, it seems like forever. Gigantic offensive line. Defensively, they're huge in the middle. So you're looking at a team that, you know, they've been battling and they've won some and they lost some, but you know, you go out to the #1 Oregon and play the way they did. That was anybody's game there well into the fourth quarter. So we know what we're in for. And 6 o'clock on the road at Maryland, we better be ready.
So what's your message to your ball club with 3 games to go? Still a nice stretch of the season. I know you don't like to talk about the bowl possibility, but in terms of this team getting better, continuing to go for victories and the focus, what do you tell your guys?
Yeah, just what you said, get better. I don't even talk about the victories. The victories come when you get better. If every single guy goes out this week in practice, understands the game plan, and gets a little bit better at their craft, when we add it all up, that's what we can be. Now, we take that and we measure it against Maryland. Is it better than them? Then we win. If it's not, we lose. That's how simple it is, but it's hard to do, right? Because you got everybody in your ear, you got social media, guys like you, right? So, but look, we love it. We love the competition. We love the challenge. That's what the Big Ten's about. Every single week you're in a dogfight, and this week's no different.
And I get the feeling that you love this team. You've talked about that a lot this year, losing 7 guys from the 2 deep for the year and still here grinding, battling, and chopping.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's what our staff is made of. That's what our players are made of. Really, that's our organization. I think we got great people in every area, from the training, support staff, equipment staff, as well as all the coaches and players.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Bruce.
That's Coach Greg Schiano. I'm Bruce Beck. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Knightlife. We'll see you soon.